Hi everybody, I'm glad to be back. Today we're gonna retake our project before our Mother's Day. Remember we were doing our samples of colors. We already worked on hues and values that were red, yellow, and blue, and our different values that were mixing up white, right? So we have different tones that would be our values and different shades that would be our hues. Now these hues over here are primary colors, red, yellow, and blue. Now we're gonna work on our secondary colors using those hues and making the respect of their values. So what we're gonna do for today, what we're gonna need is the same. We're gonna need our 3 strips of paper already divided like we did in last tutorial. Okay, we're gonna need, I have a reference of a color wheel over here. I'm going to explain a little bit how to get the secondary colors, but anyways, this is just in case. We're going to need our brush. We're going to need our primary colors that are blue, yellow, and red, white paint. We're going to need a paper towel so we can clean up our brush, and some water. So let's begin with our secondary colors. At first, I'm going to show you over here our color wheel, in which we already worked red, yellow, and blue, right? And we are gonna be working our secondary colors that are green, orange, and violet. Now, as you can see over here, we have our primaries that are separated by one color, right? Blue and yellow are separated by green, red and yellow are separated by orange, and violet is separating red and blue. So, why is this in our color wheel? The thing is that if we mix blue and yellow, we are gonna obtain green. If we mix red and yellow, we're gonna have orange. And if we mix red and blue, we're gonna have violet. That's why these secondary colors are in the middle of our primary. Because mixing the primary ones, we have these secondary that are in our color wheel. So that's what we're gonna do exactly. Over here in my palette, I already divided. You can see over here my palette. I have red, I have a white space, I have white, I don't have anything here. I have yellow, then I have an empty one also here, blue, and I have an empty one. And why am I doing this? I'm gonna just grab a little bit of red over here, like this. Okay, and always try to have clean, your brush clean so you don't mix up your colors. It always has to be nice and neat, okay? Because then you're gonna have a reddish yellow or a greenish yellow, and you don't want that. So I'm gonna get a good amount of yellow over here. There we go. Okay, and I'm gonna mix this up. And you can see over here, I have a lot of my hue, my red hue over here. And that's why I'm having a reddish orange. It's not 100% orange, right? It's kind of reddish. So what I'm gonna do is add a little bit more yellow to it so I can have an equal orange in my mix. So there we go. I already have my orange over here. You can see there's a difference in between the red and the yellow. So here I have a mix of orange. So what am I gonna do now? I'm gonna use one of my strips for my 100% orange, right? Just let me zoom this in. And we're gonna start painting with my brush. Always use your brush in one direction, okay? That way you don't ruin its hair in the brush, and it goes nice and neat. And don't put too much pressure onto it, because then you're gonna have a flat brush, and you're gonna ruin your brush. So you have to like really be careful. Use only the tip of your brush, and not put too much pressure onto it. Okay, so once we have our first hue, 100% orange over here, now we're gonna start putting some value into it, and we're gonna start adding white as we did with our first tutorial, remember? We were just adding a little bit of white every time, mixing up our color and having a lighter shade, right? So let's continue our video, our tutorial as we did last time. We're gonna follow the same steps. So we're gonna finish up with our orange now. So basically I already have my fourth hue and its values. So now we're going to continue with our next color. Okay, so we have our green and we have our orange over here that are drying. We're gonna put these two aside that are our secondary colors. And now we're gonna finish our last secondary color that will be the mix of blue and red that will make us violet. So let's clean up really quickly our brush. Take all that green out so we don't have a tertiary color. So clean up really nice. There we go. Okay, so we have our brush that's cleaned up. Now we're gonna grab our palette and we're gonna mix up, take some of this red, put it over here, right next to our blue. So we're just gonna clean up a little bit over here. There you go. And just a little bit of blue. Now it depends on what kind of violet you want, because if you want a reddish violet, you're gonna have more red. If you want a bluish violet, you're gonna put more blue. So that depends on you. So we're just gonna mix this up. And we create our violet. You can see over here, light is not so good to show, but we're gonna see it when we put some white on it. So I like the shade of my violet here. So I'm just gonna go on and start painting with this mix that I did. Okay guys, so once they're dry, all your paintings are dry, your samples should look something like this. So we have our red, our yellow, and our blue that are our primary colors. Orange, green, and violet that are our secondary colors, right? So we have 6 hues over here with 7 values each. So once you have these done, I want you to put them together and have them aside, because for next week we're gonna have another project that we're gonna be working, that I'm gonna explain about what warm and cool colors are, so we can start working on a project that we have in mind. So I hope you had fun coloring and finding out how we have to mix primary colors to get secondary colors. And also, I can't wait to see your work in platforms. So as soon as you're done, you have them dried out, please post them in. And once you have them done, just put something heavy on top of this like this, so you can flatten up your samples, okay? So guys, until next week, hugs and kisses for everybody. I miss you guys a ton. Can't imagine how much. Until next week, guys, bye-bye for now.